This is Jim Nailon, liturgical guitarist. I'm going to share my arrangement of the Christmas hymn, the Wexford Carol. I'll play through it first, and then I'll go back and play through it again and talk about it. Okay, that's definitely one of my hardest arrangements, and I don't get all the tone out of it that I would like. I like to think some of that is my hand's weaker because of arthritis, and on these bar chords I can't quite get them as pressed down as I might have used to. But anyway, this is not for the faint of heart. And it would probably take a better guitarist than me to get this worked up. But I recently reviewed this and changed some of the fingering from my original 2010 arrangement. And it is playable, which I just demonstrated. I didn't play it that great, but it is playable. So let's talk through it. First part's pretty easy. First line, all C chord. And I do bar all the chords, as you saw in the video. F. And I just lift the whole thing off. I don't try and rock to get that note. And then second finger down, and then you're gonna have to get good at this, going to that B flat from the so you got your second finger here, and then you're gonna as you're doing that playing that, you bring your bar over and you bring your third and fourth fingers ready to put down. So that's the first challenge right there, is getting the last part of measure 3 and then measure 4 together. So you could just work over. I had to just go over and over. Just over and over, starting slow. Start it slow and work it up to tempo. And moving on, second line. Nothing hard in there. You've already done the bar F before, so the Now, when you play that C chord at the end of that measure, you have to use on your right hand here. I'm going to use my thumb on the 5th string. My first finger shifts down and plays the 4th string, my I finger if you're classical. My 3rd finger, my A finger, plays the 2nd string. So if you can see there, I'm not doing anything with my 2nd finger here on the 3rd string. But it puts the 2nd finger in position for this G, the lead in to measure to line 3. So you want that on the, you want to play that with your 2nd finger here, the middle finger, and you bring your hands up here, and then you use your thumb and your 1st finger. Right now on my left hand, my 1st finger is playing the 8th fret of the 6th string, and my 3rd finger is playing the 10th fret of the 4th string. And then go up and grab the 11th fret of the 2nd string with your little finger, and then shift down to this. Slide on the little finger. You don't necessarily need to make it a glissando, but you want this finger you want to keep as your guide finger as you're sliding down. So and you're going to slide down to the 6th fret bar. So play it and pull it off. That's it. Yeah, so you play it, and then you put your 3rd and 4th fingers down on the 5th and 4th strings. And then put your 2nd finger down on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. So now you're in a B flat. So, and then move your 3rd and 4th fingers over one string to the. Now you're in an E flat. And then little finger on the 8th fret of the 2nd string with a pull off. There you go. And then you put your little finger, then on the 3rd string, little finger plays the 8th fret, and your 2nd finger plays the 7th fret, and you do a pull off from your little finger to this. And the reason you're doing your 2nd finger there is, you'll see in just a moment. And then you slide that down to the 5th fret, and now you're going to jump down to the C. You've got your 2nd finger there, so you can position your 1st and your 3rd fingers here to into the C, open G, and then the G bass. Then here's that trick going into the B flat, and then you're home free. So that 3rd line, now the 3rd line's the same, or the 3rd stanza is the same on both pages. So if you get it down on page 1, you have it down on the repeat on page 2. So after you've figured out how to do that, the B flat, because you'll need that at the end of that line, then I would just work on that line. Break it down into parts first before you try and put the whole thing together. But you know, if you're at my level or lower, of playing, you're going to have to play that, probably a few hundred times to get that down. I've probably played it a good 100 times or more in the last few days practicing for this video. So it's challenging. This is not an easy piece. If you get that line down, you can play the whole piece. So anyway, then, okay, so we're now to the top of page 2. The only difference in page 2 is that now I'm adding the harmony of 6 here. And then tense. So that's the only thing that I've changed. So at the top you go a little double hammer on there and double pull off actually. And before I had you playing like this, but I changed that. I think it's easier to just do a move your third finger there, and then the last two measures of that line are the same as the other one, first page. Same riff. Now here I have a trill. So you come off the bar and put your third finger down, open first string. And you're set up here for the same as the previous page. The ending last line, back to the 6, tense, and then this is the same. Well, that should keep you busy a while, but if you love that piece like I do and you want to try and play it for Christmas, you've got a month and a half to work on it. Okay, that's all I have on that. I pray God blesses your playing. Look for more arrangements on liturgicalguitarist.com, and I wish you peace.